My name is Brent Baum, and I am not only your favorite contrarian, I'm the only contrarian, and I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. And that's right, I am back to discuss Ezekiel Elliott and the fact that he has finally acquiesced to the NFL's 6-game suspension that they handed on him. He will no longer appeal it. He will spend that time outside the U.S. at an undisclosed location, and he'll spend that time to reset and rejuvenate and train, and I guess eliminate the distractions that he will be facing while he's in the States, because clearly this is a big issue. He will not be eligible to play until Week 16 against the Seattle Seahawks on December 24th, and then he'll play in the finale against the Philadelphia Eagles on December 31st. So one thing I just don't get, it really befuddles me that Ezekiel Elliott did not serve the 6-game suspension at the start of the season. The NFL gave him opportunities to serve this suspension at the start of the NFL season. It's very simple. He should have just served it. He should have just served it because his defense team, their only defense, was very theoretical, not substantial evidence. It's all theoretical. They, as it pertains to Tiffany Thompson, the alleged victim, and the bruises that she suffered through domestic violence, their whole defense was, well, theoretically, she could have just suffered them from falling down the steps. Or because she's a bowel surge, she could have bumped into tables. Or they used the example of where she got into this fight outside Ezekiel Elliott's apartment with this female. However, an eyewitness, a friend of Tiffany Thompson, supports that there was no fist. It was not a fist fight. It was just hair pulling, and that was it. There was no bruises whatsoever. As a result to that fight that they had. It was just a mere cat fight, if you will. So with that in mind, they should have said, okay, well, we don't have enough substantial evidence to support that Elliott did not play a part in this. Just serve a 6-game suspension. It would have been better for him to get out the way and own up to his part in this situation. It's very simply put. And the NFL did a great job of investigating. They got a lot of evidence. They got metadata. They got cell phone text messages. And they just looked in through this whole entire investigation, speaking with eyewitnesses. And they spoke with medical experts. They got a series of medical experts to match the pictures with the type of abuse that Tiffany Thompson said that she suffered. And there was a lot of matches and consistencies. And there was consistencies even with the metadata. The time that Tiffany Thompson took the pictures of her bruises was around the same time frame of when the alleged domestic violence of Ezekiel Elliott took place, from July 16th to July 21st. So there's a lot of consistencies with that. Now, Ezekiel Elliott's defense team, they used the argument that Tiffany Thompson lied about Ezekiel Elliott dragging her out of the car because an eyewitness, a friend of Tiffany Thompson, even said via text, do you want me, she asked her to lie to police about dragging her out of the car. But the NFL was concerned about that. The NFL was more so concerned about the consistencies of her story when the domestic violence took place, and it made sense, and they believed her story. It's that simple. And the NFL's conduct policy, they really just want to have a policy where NFL players are aware of promoting a good image for an NFL. And domestic violence, any part in domestic violence, stories, anecdotes supporting that a player took part in it, it's going to result in a penalty. And they said that very thoroughly in the letter. They didn't hold up against Ezekiel Elliott with the St. Patrick's Day parade fiasco where he lifted up this female's top and bared her. They did not make it an issue in terms of the 6-game suspension in that incident. They said it was an issue, it was a bad image for the NFL, but they did not hold that against him for the reason for getting a 6-game suspension. It's more the domestic violence and the consistencies with that. That's what made the NFL say, hey, we're going to suspend you. You have the right to appeal it. We're here to help you out. Now, if an incident like this happens again, you could potentially serve an even longer suspension, or be banned from the NFL as a whole. But we are here. We think that you can have a long career and fix the problems. And there needs to be any counseling. He needs to take part in that. That's what the NFL is there for. And overall, I think they did a better job. They're a lot more swift in comparison to with the Ray Rice incident. And they're really trying to crack down on this. And it's a serious issue. It's been a serious issue in the NFL for years. It's been a serious issue in sports for years. It's just not until now, until the Ray Rice incident, that deterrent, that's when they started to take it more seriously. So hopefully Ezekiel Elliott, he learns from this. I think that this can be a very good learning experience for him. Players in the NFL, they make mistakes. They do. But they can turn it around. Look what happened with Michael Vick. Michael Vick made a huge mistake with dogfighting. But he turned it around. He owned up to his actions, his wrongdoings, and he turned his life around. I think Ezekiel Elliott will have a lot more respect from people in the general public if he just owns up to the part that he played, the damage that he played as pertains to this domestic violence issue. So I think Roger Goodell and his team did a great job as a whole, and that hopefully this is an area where it will help be a deterrent, a starting point, the inception of where the NFL starts to clean up the image and eliminate the plethora of domestic violence issues that happen in the NFL with the players. So that's all I have to say about that. In a nutshell, I think that Ezekiel Elliott, I think he'll learn his lesson, and hopefully he does. Hopefully he can have a very long NFL career. He's a very talented running back, true 3-down back. One day, if he continues to play at this rate, he will be in Canton, Ohio, and he's just a great player to have for an NFL game of football. But if he can't fix the domestic violence issue, then he has no place to be playing in the NFL. I rest my case.